Good morning, everyone. I am Millie, and of course, it is Sunday, and we're doing our live session today. So, we are going to do what they call a pivot. I originally had planned for us to talk about observations during this year because around this time of the year, this is where we have our yearly observations. But I know that is the last thing that you all want to hear right about now. So, we are going to be talking about how you can support your ELLs in the middle of this global pandemic, which is, devastating. It's, you don't know what's going to happen next. And it just like it appeared overnight. I felt like it did. So I know we are a lot of us, majority of us are all in this situation or in this together. And so I'm going to be talking about how I'm supporting my students and hopefully that you can pick up something from it. And if you are supporting your ELLs in any type of way, definitely share those in the comments. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure I can see the comments as well. And of course, if you are listening to this on my podcast, you can always email me at millie@myadventuresinESL.com, and I'll make sure to get those ideas and suggestions out to everyone else as well. So, one of the things that I'm going to be talking about today, like I said, is we're going to be discussing how I am supporting my ELLs during the middle of the COVID-19 crisis. And one of the things that the problem that a lot of us are facing right now is that our ELLs have very limited access to technology. Now, I know mines do, and I know a lot of teachers that I work with as well have the same issues that their English language learners have this limited access to the internet. They have this limited access to technology. I know before I left, our principal came on the intercom. This was like the Thursday before our spring break. So we're kind of still on spring break right now. Today is the last day. And so the Thursday before our spring break, our principal got on the intercom. And now keep in mind, I am in the middle of WIDA testing. So this Thursday, I had planned to give my ELLs the speaking assessment. And so my principal came on and he said, you know what? He explained to my students, he explained to the whole school that we won't be back at this time until March the 31st. And that's when I knew in my spirit, I was like, I don't know. Even the kids were like, Miss Williams, I don't know. Are we going to be gone longer? They just had a lot of questions that unfortunately I couldn't answer. And so my mind started going overdrive because I knew I was like, oh my goodness, if we're out longer, this is a lot of instruction time that my students are missing. What am I going to do? So I frantically just was like, scrap what I was doing that day. And I asked them, I was like, who all in here has access to some type of internet, like something? Do you have a phone? Do you have a computer? Do you have a tablet at home? Do you have a hotspot? And it's really sad. My husband was saying that the internet is not a luxury at this point. It's a utility. You need it. So I asked my students, and I teach about 30 to 35, I think, around that amount. No, yeah. And only one girl, and she was like, she pulled me aside afterwards. She said, Miss Williams, I don't have my parents. I don't have access to a phone. We don't have access to the internet. And I was like, okay. So I'm thinking right now, I have an extra tablet and I'm trying to, there are a couple of, and I'll let you all know, I have to probably click over to the website, but there's a couple of, I have an extra tablet that I may take to her and maybe see about getting her some internet access. But she was the only one. And so, but everybody else had access to at least a phone. So during this time as well, I had to console my students. I teach middle school, so they're not probably like elementary students. So they're a little bit, I can tell that they were worried, but they didn't come out and say it. So, and then during this time, consoling them, letting them know that everything's going to be okay and that I'm here to support them. So at that time, I crafted a plan. At first, I was going to do a web platform called Crowdcast. If you all been on any of my webinars for the Insiders Club that I have for ESL teachers, you know that I use Crowdcast. And it's really easy. You can just send a link. But I was noticing when I was trying to do that, because I can go on there and the students, I can pull them on to the live live webinar. Like if I'm teaching, I can go face to face with them. And I thought, oh, this is easy at first. And it may be easy for you all because if your students have a Gmail account, you can use Crowdcast. And so I was like, but an issue that I ran into when I was doing Crowdcast was that a lot of my students weren't didn't have a Gmail account, and so was struggling with that. So I was like, okay, this is not going to work out. So, and then I thought, okay, I can always stream it to YouTube because I know all of them have some type of access, except that one student, to YouTube. And so I was like, well, I can stream live to YouTube, but the thing about streaming live to YouTube is that I can't interact with them. Like if they have a question in real time, it would be difficult to see it. And also, I felt as if you can make a link private on YouTube, but I just felt like, oh, it's all out in the open. So I'm still going to use YouTube, but I end up deciding over spring break to use a platform called Zoom. Now, Zoom is offering a free access to teachers. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is use Zoom. Now, the good thing about Zoom is that I had a couple of students test with me over break, as that I can provide them with a link, just a link. They click on the link and boom, they're on the live webinar or the live training or the live class. And so that's what I end up doing. So tomorrow I'm going to be using Zoom and providing the students with a link. Now, before I even got to this point, I needed to get my parents on board, the parents that I teach, the students' parents that I teach on board with everything. So luckily we have a bilingual mentor at our school. She's amazing. And I had her reach out to the parents to ensure that, hey, this is what I'm doing starting this week. Can you contact these parents? Let them know. Now, I'm also going to be texting the parents today. So after I do this live mini training with you all, I'm going to text each parent one by one, sending them the link, letting them know that tomorrow at 12:30 I'm going to be on Zoom, and I would like, the students to be there. Now, I'm one of those people, I don't really care who has my phone number, because I can just, if I feel like if they get out of control, or I can just block them. But I know some teachers, of course, I can understand you don't want people with your phone number. And so if you don't want people with your phone number, there are two options. Of course, I'm going to do this through Remind as well, because some of my parents have Remind. But I also have a Google Voice number. And a Google Voice number, the best way to describe it is like a shell number. So it's like a dummy number that goes straight to your phone. And that's a free tool that you can use. So if you don't want to give your phone number out and you need to reach your parents, you can definitely use a Google Voice number to reach out to your parents in those instances. And that's one of the ways that you can do it. I'm personally just going to send them a text message saying, hey, here is the link. I need your child to be on there tomorrow, if all possible, at 12:30 p.m. And that's what we're going to do. Now, I realize that all the students may not show up tomorrow for whatever reason. Keep in mind, like, it's a low-tech option. So their parents may have the only phone in the house, and they may not be able to access it. So if that's the case, then from Zoom, I'm going to download the Zoom video, upload it to YouTube on a private link. And that's a link that only the students can have. And send that link to the parents. Now, I know I'm really thankful. A lot of my parents are, you send them something, they're like, okay, I'll make sure they do it. If they know about it, they'll make sure the students do it. So that's what I'm hoping on. So that's how I'm going to reach out to them. Like I said, most of them, before I checked and reached, most of them have some type of access except that one student. Now, what lessons am I going to be doing with them? Now, I'm going to be doing daily writing lessons. And if you're not aware, if you go to My Adventures in ESL, it's this link right here at the bottom. My Adventures in ESL, at the top bar, there's a tab that says free daily writing lessons. You can also send the same link. I'm going to be teaching my students these lessons. If you want to share these lessons with your ELLs, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to be uploading them. And so you are more than welcome to share these lessons with your students as well. But I'm going to be doing daily writing lessons with my students with a mentor text from News ELA. Side note, that's another free resource that they usually have a paid subscription, but until the end of the year, they're doing it's free for anybody that signs up. So you get their full suite for free. So I'm going to be doing daily Riley lessons with them with a mentor text from News ELA. I can go ahead. You know what? Today, this is, I can give you all a preview of something that I'm doing. So I'll switch over to that. So if you're in my group, My Adventures in ESL, I'll switch over after this, and then I'll give you all a live preview of the lesson that I'm doing tomorrow. If you all are interested in that, I'll just make sure to just jump on over and show you all what I plan on doing with the students tomorrow. And what I'm also going to do, somebody in the group also inspired me. She said, you know what, I want to make sure that I have all of my students do all 4 language domains. I want to make sure I'm doing that. And then so after the students do the writing lesson, I'm going to upload a Flipgrid link. Now, the good thing about Flipgrid is that you can send it in a remind. You can send it in the form of a text message or a link to the parents individually for each child. So you have to make sure you do that. Now, if your students are not familiar with it, it is going to require something where you kind of show them, and you can do that through like Screencastify, where you actually share your computer screen and walk through with your students how to do it, and then just send that link. You upload that link, it automatically uploads to YouTube. Send it to YouTube, send it to your students so they can see step by step how to do it. If they're anything like me, I go on YouTube. If I don't know how to do something, I'll go to YouTube, type it in, and just watch it, and it'll show me how to do it. So I'm pretty sure they are the same way. I know I have middle school girls. They always talk about how they're going on YouTube to do their eyebrows and makeup and all of that stuff. So the same thing applies. If they are stuck on something, upload that video to YouTube. And then once it's uploaded to YouTube, and then you can just share it with your students. I know there are a lot of people, and there's just an overwhelming amount of kindness happening right now. And so I just want to let you all know that you all have this. This is something that we are built for. You all are strong. I know a lot of people right now are feeling overwhelmed. And you know what? I feel overwhelmed sometimes, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to take it a day at a time, and I'm going to do everything that I can to support them. On the flip side of that, I also want to encourage you to take this time for some self-care. There's some amazing professional development. I love professional development, just for fun. And I also love it, just to make sure that I'm going to be a better teacher. So there's some amazing professional development going on right now that I want to encourage you all to watch. I will also make sure to link that in the show notes. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is that tomorrow, like I said, starting tomorrow, I'm offering free daily writing lessons for ELLs. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to share that lesson that I'm doing tomorrow with the people in my group, My Adventures in ESL, and so they can get a good idea or a glimpse of what I'm going to be doing with the students tomorrow. So if you are interested, if you're watching this and you're interested in joining the group and you want to see what I'm doing, just make sure you go over to my Facebook page, My Adventures in ESL, click groups, click the group, and then I'll go ahead and make sure to get you in there. So once again, thank you all for being here. Also, I want to encourage you all. The second thing before I go is that if there's something that you need, like something that you wish that you had or available or some type of support, make sure you drop those in the comments and we'll see what we can do about getting that for you. I'll see what I can do about getting that for you and researching and seeing how I can support you during this time. So once again, you all are amazing. I am going to switch over to my group and show them a preview of our lesson tomorrow. So once again, if you want the free daily writing lessons, go to myadventuresinESL.com, click at the top bar where it says free daily writing lessons. Once you get into those free daily writing lessons, just sign up and then I will send you the links to the daily writing lessons. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I'm teaching the students and I don't want like a public link out there. So I prefer just to keep the link private. And if you want that, I'll be more than happy to send that to you. Just make sure that you just sign up at myadventuresinESL.com. I want you all to thank you so much for being here today and being supportive. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all in the group. Bye.